The pros and cons of an LLC versus an S corporation. Let's just get straight to the meat of this. One, the pros and cons of an LLC. Let's first start off with the liability protection because this is such a killer pro. So number one is liability protection. This offers special liability protection, shielding the owner's personal assets from business debts and liabilities. Number two, flexibility and management. LLC provides flexibility in ownership and management structure, allowing for various combinations of members and managers. Killer number three, pass-through taxations. LLCs enjoy pass-through taxations where profits and losses flow through the individual member's tax returns, avoiding double taxation at the entity level. Number four, simplicity and fewer formalities. So LLCs generally have fewer formal requirements and ongoing compliance obligations, making them relatively easier to establish and maintain. This is why they say the LLC is like a hybrid between a DBA or a sole prop and a corporation. Number five, operational flexibility. LLCs have fewer restrictions on profit distributions and allocation, allowing owners to customize the distribution of profits according to their needs. Now, what are the cons associated with running an LLC? If there are so much pros and we always hear about the pros, why aren't we talking about the negative consequences? Well, one thing is the self-employment taxes. All profits of an LLC are subject to self-employment tax, potentially resulting in higher tax liability for members. This is why it's important to talk to your CPA to know when the heck do we exit out of this. Number two, the limited lifespan. In some jurisdictions, the life of an LLC is limited to specific duration or the occurrence of certain events, which can impact long-term planning and continuity. Number three, perceived lack of credibility. So some businesses, especially those seeking for investments or partnerships, may perceive LLCs as less credible or less established to corporations. We have seen this happen when people go after financing and funding. It does occur. Now, I will say though, LLCs typically do have more credibility than a DBA. But at the end of the day, cash talks louder than your entity. It's gonna put that out there. Number four, limited ownership structure. So some jurisdictions may have restrictions on who can be an owner of an LLC, limiting the potential of pool of investors or partners. Now let's go look at the counterpart, which is the pros and cons of an S corporation. Let's start first with the pros. Limited liability protection. Of course, very similar to an LLC, an S corporation also takes on personal liability, protecting the shareholders, safeguarding the personal assets from the business liabilities. Number two, potential tax savings. So as an S corporation, owners can potentially reduce self-employment taxes by receiving reasonable salary and classifying additional profits as distributions, which are not subject to payroll taxes, significantly lowering those taxes for you. Three, credibility and perception. An S corporation is often conveyed as a sense of professionalism and credibility, which can be advantageous for attracting investors, obtaining financing, or forming even partnerships and alliances. Number four, the ease of transferability. Ownership shares in an S corporation can be easily transferred or sold, facilitating ownership changes and potential exit strategies. Just makes it so much easier for you to add investors, add partners, add people to your business, but also allowing you to do the opposite, which is you gotta sell your company and you're just moving on from your project, or that was your original exit plan. What are the cons associated with an S corp? Well, strict eligibility requirements. So S corporations have strict eligibility criteria, including limitations on the number of type of shareholders, potentially restricting ownership and the growth of opportunities. Number two, formal compliance obligations. S corporations must adhere to specific corporate formalities such as holding regular meetings, having your minutes, documenting corporate decisions, and maintaining accurate records, which involves additional administrative burdens. Yes, there is a learning curve involved with running your corporation. There's also the risk of double taxation, which comes in number three. double taxation. While S corporations are generally pass-through entities, there is a risk of double taxation if the corporation retains earnings beyond what is considered reasonable business operations. Number 4, limited flexibility in profit allocations. So S corporations have strict rules on profit allocations compared to LLCs, potentially limiting the ability to customize distribution among the shareholders. This can be restricted by the percentage owned for each shareholder, so there are formalities still to consider when we are taking distributions, when we are making contributions and payments through that company. But again, it is always important to consider the pros and cons in the context of your business goals, structure, and preference when making a decision between an LLC and an S corporation. Seeking professional assistance and help. Again, this is you seeking professional advice from a legal and tax expert. It is extremely and strongly recommended to fully understand the implications and then make an informed decision. You can always go through a formation specialist such as Integral Business, where we are here to help you go ahead and start off the right way. We just want to ensure that you have the power and the backing of the best of the best. So we always recommend having your tax attorney, having a legal team, and then finally having someone that's there that's going to help you carry you that extra step. If you do have any questions, let us know. Comment below. Hey, Jesus, I need help. Or comment below. Start my business. Comment below and we will help you out immediately. I hope you're enjoying these. I hope that you love watching our videos. And again, always follow ibs.llc on Instagram for a lot of these shorts where you can get your information. And we also share local businesses that we have helped start up.